Hi guys, thanks for liking, sharing and subscription. Today we are going to talk about continental drifting. We are going to try to explain this theory as it was proposed by scientist Alfred Wegner. Okay, so let's go guys. Continental drift, as you're watching in the video, describes one of the earliest ways geologists thought continents moved over time and of today. So guys, we are talking about what we are saying today and how it was from the past time. So the theory of the continental drift has been replaced by the science of tectonics as it is displayed clearly. So guys, this map you're seeing on the screen displays the earlier supercontinent, which was known and called as Gondwana. So eventually moved to form the continents that we are seeing of today on the world map as you're seeing on screen. So guys, for now we have about 7 continents, okay, commonly which some of us know. We have Asia, Africa, North and South America, Antarctica, Europe and Australia. So far those are the known 7 continents we have today, and maybe after a million years, as scientists and geologists predict, we shall have more continents. Okay, so about the theory of continental drift, this was most associated with the scientist known as Alfred Wegner. So Mr. Alfred Wegner, he was behind this theory and it came into existence in 1880s. However, he was a German climatologist, geologist and a researcher in 1924. So he was born on 1st November and died on 16th 1930 November in Greenland. So about his theory, Mr. Alfred referred this theory, continental drift, as the giant continent that was commonly or that was known as Pangaea in early time. So he referred this event happening using typical examples that came into his research as he was trying to make an hypothesis about his theory. So he referred to as evidence that in his research he came across fossils are like plant remains, okay? So he came across fossils, reptiles that were found in Africa and America, climate rock layers that could easily just fit clearly, and there was enough evidence due to the similar geology in finding as he was researching. He said that the Pangaea exists for about 240 million years ago, and by about 200 million years ago this supercontinent began breaking apart and separating into pieces that slowly led to their positions we are seeing now. I'm talking about the continents, the 7 continents as we are seeing them now. For him, he suggested and he said due to his research, it was evident that the current positioning of the continents we know of today was as a result of his theory, the continental theory. So he recognized that it was due to tectonic activities that led to the plates movement. Okay, these are the plates, the continents we are seeing. We refer to them as plates in geography. The plates are always moving and we are always interacting in a continuous process, and even today they are still moving as he believed. And in this he considered the seafloor spreading zones and the giant rift valleys that were forming or that were existing by that time, in which he said that these rift valleys involved molten rock rising, ridges were breaking and separating that could be increasing for about 2.5 centimeters, which is approximate 1 1 inch, guys. As he said that every year that was coming and going, these giant rift valleys and sea spreading flow zones were increasing in size by 2.5 centimeters, which is approximate 1 inch. So these processes of sea flow spreading, rift valley formation, and subduction. Subduction, guys, we are talking about, this is when or where heavier tectonic plates sink beneath light ones. This is when the heavy plates, guys, that are heavy, that they are sinking the light ones, or breaking up the light ones, and then they stay on ground. So these processes were mainly the geological forces behind what Wegner recognized as the continental drift, in short, guys. So he presented many evidences to support his theory, and in the evidences we are going to talk about few of them, but he presented more, and later he got famous, and many scientists, geologists, geographers supported his view. Many criticized his ideology, with also relevant evidences that we shall share in our tutorials. But for now, let's focus on who is he, what is continental drift, and what are some of his findings in his research. So guys, about the continental evidences that were presented by Alfred Wegner. So first, he looked at the fossil evidence. Fossils, I told you guys, these are similar to plants, remains, animals, and many others. So the fossils evidence was one of the strongly supported idea by many scientists around the world, due to similar plants, animals, and rock edges similarly found on the shores of different continents. For example, he looked at South Africa and West Africa having partly similar plants, animals, and rocks. Okay, so he also focused at the tropical rainforests that are stretching from South America, coming to West Africa. The tropical rainforest, for example, the stretch of the tropical Amazon forest coming to West African forests. So this was one of the evidences that was strongly agreed about to be correct, because when they checked, or when they went to the field, they found similar results as he presented. The other evidence he presented, he talked about the tectonic plates. Okay, he talked about the tectonic plates, and that actually, and these are the pieces of the lithosphere. So lithosphere is what we see, guys, the land. It is the making of the earth. So that the surface we are seeing, we call it lithosphere in geography. That he said that it is made up of crust and the upper mantle. For example, the African plate, Antarctica, Eurasian, Australian, Pacific, North and South America, they are totally having the same characteristics. I'm talking about the plates. Okay, so he said that these 7 tectonic plates were particularly the same, had similar characteristics, similar geological processes and formation, whereas similar species, rock layering, among others. I'm talking about the coral reefs and many others. For example, coral reefs that are found in Southern America are almost similar to coral reefs that are found in Western Africa shores. Okay, so he also talked about the movement of plates as his third evidence, that this is partly about the seafloor spreading, the movement of these 7 plates. He said it was partly of the seafloor spreading, which happens on the seafloor from these giant oceans. Okay, in these giant oceans, we know about the 5 oceans that are commonly known. He talked about their oceanic plates, that inside these oceans, there are oceanic plates that are moving away from each other. Okay, some people call this process as diverging process, that these plates are diverging away from the other, going opposite direction away from the other, which allows magma to come up and cool, forming a new seafloor in many regions. That's why we are seeing them wide. I'm talking about these ocean floors. So his fourth evidence, he talked about the mountains and volcanoes that similarly had the same formation, same reaction, same age, and many others as well as he was mentioning. So he talked about the formation of these mountains that were stretching from one continent to the other, just partly being separated by these ocean basins. So Alfred Wegener made a lot of effort in this theory to support his theory. That's why up to date many scientists, geographers have been making research about it, but at least 80% was accepted to be true from his theory. So there are also many other evidences that he presented to support his ideology, but today we've decided to share about those ones. However, he had many critics. Many people criticized his theory, came up with different ideas. Others added more information to his theory, of which it was welcomed as geographers. We are natural researchers because we believe in the environment and we accept the nature, because we also believe that the earth that we see, it has formations and it's under many processes that are active on each day, day by day. So guys, we shall also consider talking about his critics in my next tutorial. How was he criticized? What were his challenges in his research, among others. So, but it was welcomed that we can even make research about this theory about today. So we shall discuss more about this theory and others in my next tutorial. Thanks guys for watching, subscribing, share the link. Good day guys, all the best. See you in my next tutorial.